School Louisville boy like Reese Gaines. I know we were cool back then, but things change. Your chick give me brain, my chicken's free range. Reporting live from the five.
Amigos and amigas, welcome back to another edition of the Crack Paddles podcast. I'm your host Alejandro Crumero, alongside my co-host
Kevin Dong.
Kevin Dong.
And we might need to rebrand the podcast. You know, it might not be Crack Paddles anymore.
Dude,
it might be Cracked People.
Cracked People, yeah.
Our
Kevin,
bodies are breaking.
You and I have had some interesting injury stuff. Some, knee.
Both of our knees.
Both knees, ankles. I had athlete's foot earlier in the year.
Oh, yeah.
I had bed bugs 2 weeks ago. Well, not 2 weeks ago, about a week ago. I'll get into that. I've had a cyst I've been dealing with. It's just been, it hasn't been great for you. Oh yeah, Kevin almost died last week.
You had, and amongst all that, you had MLP St. Pete, which we're going to talk about, and you had some trades to look at.
Lots of trades, all the trades.
We'll talk about my injury and then also like what's coming up with like.
Yeah, I'm going to Boston tomorrow. We'll talk about it all. So MLP, kind of what's coming up next, and why we can't seem to stay healthy here over on the Crack Paddles.
And when I talk about my injury, there's a little sub story in there, which is it's going to be very instructive. It's going to be a little bit of a lesson that I gave, actually, because I normally don't give a ton of lessons, like maybe in the Philippines or whatever, but I was giving out a lesson, and then shortly after that I got injured. So just FYI.
All right. Well, where do we start? We'll start with I guess MLP St. Pete.
How are the travels getting to St. Pete? Because you've been bouncing everywhere.
Well,
Austin,
actually, this
home.
was yeah. So I flew from Austin to Fort Lauderdale. I spent like literally 24 hours in Fort Lauderdale, and then my girlfriend and I drove up to St. Pete on Tuesday because this was a 5-day event. So I felt like I was in St. Pete a lot longer than I wanted to be in St. Pete. We did go, so we went up on Tuesday. She went to UTampa, wanted to show me the campus, so we explored the UTampa campus, which is super pretty. The main classroom building is this old building that used to be a hotel, like in the late 1800s, and so it's like old Victorian style, super cool. Pretty campus. And yeah, we stayed in downtown St. Pete, kind of a cool little hotel. Downtown St. Pete, maybe not my favorite place in the world. It's one of those places where it's like, yeah, number one, I don't know if it's just me, but obviously I live in South Florida. It's hot down here. It feels like it's twice as hot in St. Pete. I just don't know. Maybe when I'm down here and I'm near the water, I just feel like this is how it's supposed to feel. But in St. Pete, it just felt even hotter. I don't know. I mean, we were inside playing, but it felt so hot outside.
Is the humidity just that much
not
worse?
Even the humidity. I don't know. It feels like you're closer to the sun, which you're not. So it's weird, but. Anyway, so we got to St. Pete Tuesday night. She's with me, which is great. I started itching, I would say, yeah, it was really about when I really noticed it about a week or about 8 days ago. So it was that Tuesday was when I was like, all right, there are bites. I had noticed a couple bites on my arm and we were like, oh, okay. And then I noticed more bites and then I noticed bites on my leg. And I mean, itchy as all hell. So I was like, all right, what is this? After a very brief Google search, it was pretty evident that I had had a little bit of a bed bug issue.
That you picked up in Austin.
And if you recall, like I said, the sliders take care of us, but put it this way. Right? If I stay at a very nice hotel, I'm going to lose money. I'm not making any money. I'm going to lose money that I already have. So I'm looking for deals on booking.com. I'm a Genius Rewards member and sometimes I get good deals. I think my hotel in Austin was $310 for 5 nights. But that was because I had a Genius deal. Anyway, the hotel itself was okay. It's not a Super 8. It's not a Motel 8. It's not, it wasn't.
It's a hotel.
It's a hotel. And I do remember at one point, I looked down at my pillow in the morning and there was a little blood spot. And if you don't know, that's a telltale for bed bugs. So anyway, I got mauled by bed bugs. I mean, I was itching. I had to wear arm sleeves all day on my left side. I'm a side sleeper, so it really only got my left side. I ultimately ended up getting like some, anti-itch stuff, and so I'm through it now.
You're on the other side.
I'm on the other side of it, but yeah, it was just like I got bed bugs. Are you kidding me? Like this is ridiculous. Paris Todd got a kick out of that. She thought it was funny that I had bed bugs.
And then she took 3 steps away from you.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. It's not contagious. I made sure it's not. Now they can like get in your suitcase. I don't think that's happened because I mean, if I brought bed bugs into my girlfriend's apartment, she would kick me to the curb. I'd be
Yeah.
back in the streets of St. Pete. But I think we're on the other side of it. You instructed me. Were you like, did you call the hotel to at least give them a heads up for the other guests? And I thought about it, and then I thought, you know what? I want everybody else to get bed bugs too, Kevin. So no, so I have not called the orange something or other in. Maybe that's bad karma coming my way. But what do you do? The thing is with bet when you have like an infestation, it's like a crazy Like it's crazy.
They need an exterminator.
Dude, yeah,
Like,
an exterminator, and you gotta so anyway, that was that. As far as the
the pickleball.
pickleball goes, I know that this facility has been kind of, glazed throughout the week, but it was super duper duper nice. The St. Pete Athletic Facility, they really did a fantastic job just creating kind of like a modern bougie pickleball club in terms of the amenities, facilities. Like, yeah, it just felt like an elite place. It's kind of in a weird, like I guess it used to be the old industrial area of St. Pete, and so you're kind of wedged between like an art gallery, and like an old record store. So it's a cool vibe down there for sure. Yeah, facility was awesome. Not the best week for my team. I think we got fifth. And surprisingly, it was the only event that I didn't hit a ball or in competition. So we had 6 matches. Not one of those went to a DreamBreaker.
Dang.
Which was a little surprising because honestly, I was like, all right, we play a bunch of good teams. Like I was like, this could be a very, very busy week for me. Turned it out being my least busy week. Um, yeah, not great from us. I mean, against Palm Beach, we lost that one where Casey somehow was in there.
So can we talk about that? Because I heard some rumors.
Yeah, we can talk about it. I won't say too much, but yeah, we can talk about it.
Well, I mean, I've heard rumors like publicly shared rumors. So I don't feel bad.
This is not a secret. It's all over the internet. So.
But just to give viewers a heads up, so basically, Deckel was injured or sick.
Deckel had something injured.
Deckel was either injured or sick. Then Tyson was the other player.
He
for
legitimately
Palm Beach.
rolled his ankle, but he
rolled his ankle, but he was right. He rolled his ankle. He sat out one day, but he's playing most of the event.
Right.
And then their bench player slash single specialist is Grayson Golden. Grayson had a couple of strokes like a while back. He's grinded his way to be healthy and stuff. Now he's cleared. He like clinched a DreamBreaker a couple of events ago, and so he's good to go now. But he also fell ill, quote unquote, had an illness, and that led the Palm Beach Royals to pick up Casey, who got signed the day before to the PPA tour, and they picked him up. So they bypassed like the on-site alternate, who's Stefan and Vern. So they don't pick up the on-site alternate. They pick up Casey the day after he gets signed. Right?
Yes, correct.
That's my understanding.
All of those things are true, and I'm a bit conflicted just because, like, again, I have a personal relationship with Casey. He's another Louisville guy, so like, I was happy that he got to shine.
I don't blame any of this on Casey. Casey, great job. Like, and I'm happy for him. It's more like as a viewer, I'm confused, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, look, all I'll say about it is that there are still loopholes, and it's still such a new league that like you can kind of just do whatever the heck you want, it seems. And yeah, I mean, that's really all I'm gonna say about it.
Am I allowed to say the rumor? Because the rumor
was that Grayson's not sick at all. Yeah, I know. It's pretty been widely circulated.
Anyway,
who knows, man? Look, I mean, and then yesterday again, Grayson was put on IR, which like. Palm Beach even said in the thing, like, he's healthy, he's not injured. I don't know. I mean, look, like somebody pointed out and said, this would never fly in my fantasy football league. I I don't know. I mean, it's an ever-changing landscape. The rules, I mean, Federico talked about it. They seem to be changing all the time. You know, it's tough because like, and I even tweeted, I'm like, all these trades and everything else, like, it's entertaining for me. Like, it really is. Even the stuff with Grayson and Case, like, it's entertaining. And ultimately, like, that is the goal of MLP is like to be
Yeah.
entertaining and to be kind of off the wall. So like, yeah, in my opinion, like fair play. Like I don't love that. I think I would anticipate in the next few years, you know, because there are owners and stuff, right?
Oh,
Who
I'm sure
have
they're livid.
there are owners who have millions and millions of dollars invested. For me, who's like the DreamBreaker guy on the sliders and like is friends with Casey and Grayson, I'm just like, like, okay. But for these guys who have millions invested, yeah, it'll ultimately you know, kind of work its way out in terms of, you know, loopholes and things like that. But I do find MLP and all of that like very entertaining. I again like, you know, as a casual fan, if I were like trying to like get into a team, like I don't know. But again, for me, like, dude, I watch way more MLP than I watch PPA. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I
Uh,
do because I just like
that's been
find
true
it
for me too.
all. I just find it
Yeah.
all interesting. Like and I'm there obviously. Like I'm on a team that could win it, so it's like I have skin in the game. But also I just find it entertaining.
I also feel like the level of pride that players have in winning and losing, there are some exceptions, but for the most part, the level of pride that players have in winning and losing is at a higher height in MLP than during normal PPA tournaments. Like if there's someone player A just refuses to lose to player B, like I feel like in MLP, like it's even more meaningful that they do not lose that because they're not playing with their normal partner. Neither is the other person. It's like I don't know. That's maybe I'm like writing narratives in my own head, but that's what I
I'd say it's
see watching
true.
some of these matches.
I'd say it's true for most players. I don't know. I think it goes back to like, you know, when you're playing, say you're playing doubles, like in theory, you're only letting down one other person and yourself. Like singles, I'm only letting down me. With MLP, like the weight of feeling like you're letting down, you know, an organization, your owner, you got Rich Chaffetz sitting on the bench, you know, it's like, all right, I want to piss him off. You know what I mean?
Like a
For
potential
me,
like
like
bigger mass of fans too. Like
correct. Like you have fans. We had the Tampa Sliders fan club there, so it's like I think that has something to do with it. But I don't know. Anyway, I find it all entertaining. But back to the sliders. We had a bad week. Lost to Palm Beach, lost to St. Louis. Yeah, the Palm Beach match. I mean, we had like 3 or 4 game points in women's. Lost that game. Andre and Paris were up like 9-3 and lost that game. I think that match is an outlier to be like that match against Palm Beach, just kind of unlucky. And
I mean,
they played well.
even the second mixed match, I feel like CJ and
Yeah, we were
Tyra
up.
were
They
up
were up.
6-2.
Yeah, something like that. So I was
Yeah.
convinced I was going to a Dreambreaker, and obviously, ultimately, it didn't. St. Louis. I mean, look, St. Louis is going to be tough to beat. I actually, St. Louis recently also just acquired Hunter Johnson,
Hmm.
which I'm not sure he's thrilled about that, to be honest.
To go from playing every match to only being singles dream breaker guy.
Right, and it's like you're Hunter
Yeah.
Johnson. I don't know. Me, it's like I'm cool to be the Dreambreaker guy. Him, it's like he's been #1 in the world for a full calendar year. Like he, you know, I'm not sure how thrilled. It all depends on like if they win it all, do the fifth and sixth player like get paid? Not sure. That I don't know
I
the
mean, why
answer.
wouldn't they?
Well, I mean
Yeah, get
historically,
paid something.
well, I'm sure you get paid something, but like, and should you? I don't know. Like, do you? But I'm saying like the prize money in MLP is pretty ridiculous this year, like in terms of the numbers. But it's like last year, for example, I know that if you just like didn't play, you're not you like, put it this way. I know Ross Whitaker and Marcella Holmes didn't get paid a bunch of money.
They didn't get anything.
I don't know, maybe a little bit, but not as much as the main players.
Especially with the single specialist coming into
Sure,
play, like
sure.
they should get something, even if it is someone that doesn't even ever get in there. Like,
Yeah,
but
no,
anyway,
I mean, look,
that's
I agree. You've spent X amount of time doing yada yada yada. Anyway, the Shock acquire Hunter. They get rid of Elsie and John. I mean, I know John is happy about this. Like, you know, I think it was valuable, obviously, to be around Gabe, you know, Anna, Hayden, Kate, like all that. But at the end of the day, like the kid wants to play. He just made the tour finals, right? Like and knowing John the way that I do, I knew that I think he enjoyed it, but I know he's fired up to like be able to play.
Get more player development.
Correct. Hunter, maybe not. But yeah, that's a scary team any way you slice it. Haha. I do think that Hunter, he like Goins has beaten him like multiple times. Is it that big of an upgrade? No, but obviously he's, older and more experienced in DreamBreakers, things like that. So yeah, I mean, I think the Shock are the best team on paper, 100%. I actually I think we had a decent strategy against them, which was win women's doubles and then put our, stronger mixed team up against Gabe and Kate. And like, look, we had 3 game points in women's. That was a fantastic match. Like probably the best match of the tournament in my opinion. I don't know. I didn't watch everything, but yeah, Anna, Kate against Tyra and Paris. Like they're so good, all 4 of them. So that was fun. I mean, we easily could have won that, had 3 game points. And then, yeah, like we were down 3-0 with Andre and Paris against Gabe and Kate. And I mean, I think we lost 11-9. Do I think they win that match? If it's 2-1, I think there's a good chance of it. So then in the DreamBreaker, who knows what happens? So yeah, I mean, the Shock are loaded. Everybody knows that. And yeah, I mean, look, do I still think the Sliders can win it all? Of course I do. But the reality with MLP is like, the reality is nothing really matters until the playoffs. Like,
yeah,
within reason, right? Like we've secured a playoff spot. We've probably secured a top 5 spot. I hope we go top 4, just because if we go top 4, we get a bye. Anyway,
but even just being in the top 5, because 5 and 4 would play each other at some point, right? So like being in the top 5,
probably. I don't exactly
makes
know
a
how
world
it works.
difference.
I don't know how it works out, to be honest. But I'm just saying, if you're top 4, you actually skip the entire first event, which would just be nice to like have a have a break
and no risk weekend and stuff. But
right, so. I don't know. What else do I want to say about it?
Wait, I just want to give a shout out to Casey, because I know we're talking about the trades and stuff, but I didn't see the men's because I know he got pickled against the Sliders, but like that was his first match. But even so, like if you go in, you get called up, you get picked up on the roster, and then the next day you go and get pickled in the first game in men's, like that's gotta be tough to mentally bounce back from. And then to also be down 2-6 in mixed, so you're on like a 2-17 run, and then to go from there and win the mixed match, like that's some I gotta get props. Like that's some mental toughness right there. And like he literally was like, I don't know, from the mixed match when I was watching, like he literally was just like super steady, like, especially in transition. The guy like did not miss a single reset. Like so. I just gotta say, like, hey, at least from the storyline, insane mental resilience and mental toughness, and then also pros don't miss in transition, and that's all Casey did. He just didn't miss in transition. So that was my takeaway from that watching that match, at least.
Yeah, no, I mean, Casey deserves his props. I'm a big Casey Diamond guy. I mean, Casey's from Louisville. We know a lot of the same people. And I think he maybe started competing in tournaments maybe about 6 months before I did. But I remember like when I was playing APP qualies, like Casey was like, maybe he'd make it out of qualies most of the time, but maybe not. Like dude has put in so much work and gotten so much better. And then obviously you've seen, over the course of the last year and a half, he's winning golds on APP and, being #1 mixed player. But like dude has grinded to get where he's at. So definitely happy to see him get recognition. And yeah, he's just a good kid. I did say, is Casey cousins with Scott Van Pelt or something, because the guy was on ESPN's top 10 plays 2 days in a row. I said that smelt a little fishy to me. It smelled like an inside job.
Okay, hold on. The behind the back shot was pretty deserving.
The ATP.
The ATP was like everyone hits that ATP.
Are they
maybe
like,
not like the little corner, but like
no. But yeah, it's like, all right, are we just putting Diamond on the top 10 every day now? Is that what we're doing?
Hey, it's a fun storyline, like right? Like it truly is.
For sure. No, it is. And again, I like Casey, so I like to see him succeed. Last thing we'll talk about, last trade, and this one pulled at the heartstrings a little bit. My girls, Danielle Townsend and Alex Strong, are reunited on the Dallas Flash.
I saw that. So Dallas Flash is going to be.
I mean, that's a frisky team, dude. That's a frisky team. Danny and Alex just play really, really well together. I've talked about it probably a little bit. I think their skill sets are perfectly complementary. Danny is very dynamic and will play 80% of the court. Alex is so steady, so good at resetting the ball. Her backhand counter is a weapon. She can hit lobs. Yeah, just kind of a good person, just a perfect matchup of like I think personalities and whatever. I think they will maximize each other's like ceiling, if you
Chemistry
will.
potential.
So,
Chemistry
yeah, I mean,
translates to their performance.
correct. So yeah, it's just funny. Like it's just funny. I remember I was pumped up to watch them beat the Dallas Flash, beat Tyra. Now I got Tyra on my team. They're on the Flash.
Wild.
Again,
Wild West out here.
It is, but it's, you know what? Again, it's entertaining. It's funny. I knew going into like yesterday, the waiver period. I was like, well, I doubt anything will happen on my end because, you know, as I've so humbly discussed, I am 13-3 in my last 2 DreamBreakers. So I figured, well, my role is probably safe. Like I don't think they're gonna drop. I don't know what value there would be in dropping me at this point. And so, but I had a dream that I was like dropped, and I like woke up, and then like my girlfriend was like, "Did you see what happened?" 'Cause she follows it, so she's like, "Did you see the waivers, like Zane Ford and yada yada?" And I was like, "What?" So
And Alex Crump.
Yeah, no, I think I'm in it for the long haul at this point.
Well,
There might be one more waiver period, so I better hold my tongue. I guess I could suck at the midseason tournament, but let's hope not.
yeah. No, I mean, I feel you have the right mindset of like, you have to earn your keep every event, right?
No,
like that's
for
just
sure,
how you
for
have
sure.
to.
Yeah, no, it's just the way that it is, you know.
Um,
And again, like early on, like if something happened early on and I got like kicked, booted, or whatever, I'd probably be like, all right, I'm gonna go work. I'll play challengers, whatever. At this point, like the fact that I've done 4 events and like been there through trades, everything else, I'm like, all right, I want to ride this pupper out. Like let's try to go get a ship. Like I feel like I have some skin in the game now. You know what I mean?
yeah. And you guys are just collecting data, you know. You don't, like you said, nothing
I mean,
really
again,
matters
nothing
to the
really
end.
matters to us. Nobody remembers anything other than
Yeah.
who won it. You know what I mean? So it'll be a good for my team to kind of regroup. I definitely think we haven't touched our ceiling.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to Boston at 4 a.m. tomorrow to play the Challenger in Maine and do some other stuff, and then I'll kind of reset, regroup, and then I think we go to Grand Rapids on July 8th. So.
good stuff. One last MLP note. Obviously, I gotta watch the Brooklyn pickleball team because Rachel's on it. So
I love her. It's funny because like I told you about how like Rachel claims that like she said hi to me, I didn't say hi back, and it's kind of like become a thing. And then like I'm like good friends with Chris, so I go and I like say hey to Chris, and I didn't notice Rachel was there. And Rachel's like, here we go again. And then I made a point like the rest of the week to like be like, hi Rachel, like do you need anything? Anyway, she's just a good egg. I like Rachel a lot. She's insane at pickleball, and she's also just a nice lady.
yeah, and a warrior. Like she had like I think they were playing the slice and against Mari and Jamie Way, and like I think Rachel like took a medical timeout and like had to get her leg wrapped and basically had that issue. Whatever, I don't know what the issue was, but whatever it was, had for the rest of the weekend. And like, dude, like on like day 1 or 2 to have that and then like battle through the whole thing. Like, no offense to the backup, but I don't, anything that you're replacing Rachel, anyone you're replacing Rachel with, if she were to be injured, it's going to be a severe drop off. So for her to tough out whatever injury that is, like, I mean, they got third, so like that's a pretty strong performance.
Yeah, no, I'm a Rohrbacher guy, man. What she does with her rolls and her like misdirection and everything else, like she's just a freak.
Dude, John Q, like the paddle reviewer, John Q, he has all this like equipment, slow motion camera, all that, whatever, right? So he's been doing a series where he will slow motion review like all these pros mechanics. Yeah. And he was doing a review of Rachel's like forehand dink, forehand lob, forehand speed ups, and it's just like she holds it. She prepares the same and holds it so long, like even in slow motion. Yeah. It's like why is it so hard to tell in slow motion where she's going? So like just imagine doing that in real time across the court from her. Like that's insanity.
No, I know you've played with her a ton. I really haven't, but she's fun to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah,
she's doing it all. She's doing it all with the fever, bro. When is the aura getting UPA approved, man? You got to talk to the boys.
I know. I think they're working on it, but honestly, I think she likes the Fever more than the Aura Pros. So
Probably you can probably control it. It's more like a Gen 2.
yeah.
I mean, dude, like
I,
Tyra plays with a legit Gen 2 paddle.
I think the Fever matches Rachel's game more. It's similar to Wade, where they both, I'm not saying that they have huge backswings. It's more that they swing bigger, like almost they're swinging through so much, and I feel like it would again, like I would, if I had to pick a Friday paddle to put in your hands,
Yeah,
I would put the Fever in your hands more than the
I
Aura
feel with
Pro.
it. I literally have
Right.
one in the
And
I have one in
and
the
like
closet back here. I liked
Yeah.
it. I just didn't have it that much.
because I feel like the Fever's like top of the all court territory, so the power is not in, like the pop is not insane.
Yeah,
But like if you're full swinging, yeah, it's got plenty of power and like it will come down because like it's not so poppy, so the ball will grab it even more, or the paddle will grab the ball even more. But anyway, that's like when I played with the Fever, I feel like I couldn't miss a speed up, but I also was like, oh man, I just wish I had more pop on my counters.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm a little more compact with my counters. Rachel and Wade are over there like swinging and rotating into things, and like they're getting more rotational power than I do
sure.
because I'm so compact and not using my core, which I should probably work on.
Yeah.
But they don't need the power. Like they don't need the pop, but I do. Speaking of, I just got
Speaking of paddles, ooh,
yeah,
that is pretty.
Yeah.
That's a good looking paddle.
which I might have to play with because if I play a challenger when I come back, it's gonna be with the Fever.
Well, I'm lucky that neither one of us have a Fever, Kevin. And speaking of paddles, listen, you guys know I'm a Proton guy. Love my Protons. Kevin's with Friday. Two good companies. Unfortunately, at MidwestRacketSports.com, you can't get those yet. Maybe one day we'll have to work on that, try to get them on there. But I will say Midwest Racquet Sports has a really wonderful selection of paddles. Shoes, we always talk about the shoes. So many good deals. You can already find things that are on sale. Use code CP15. I mean, you can get a pair of good shoes for like $70 on MidwestRacketSports.com.
If you go to the items that are on sale, that code 15% stacks on top of that sale.
Correct.
So
it turns it into like
nice.
a mega deal.
It's kind of like thrifting, but with pickleball gear.
Correct. So, bags, shoes, towels, hats. You can still go get yourself the Crack Paddles hat. Hopefully we're sold out of those suckers, but I feel like maybe there
might be a couple left. Yeah.
We may make a special edition Crack People hat. Anyway, we love MidwestRacketSports.com. Your home for all things pickleball, tennis, etc. Go to MidwestRacketSports.com. Use code CP15. Kevin, CP
15.
CP 15. Is that 15?
That is. I want to work on my Spanish after my Chinese. That's my goal is obviously to keep working on my Chinese, which I have been using more. Every time I go to a Chinese restaurant, I say one thing in Chinese and the waiter or waitress is like, "Oh, you can speak Chinese," and they just switch modes, and it's like,
and they've
all right, I guess I'm practicing Chinese now.
Yeah, that's good though, man. For what other reason? Just learn another language than to connect with more people,
Exactly. And like the last Chinese restaurant I went to, like the waitress was clearly more comfortable speaking Chinese. So I was kind of like, oh, like I'm glad that I can make her more comfortable. Yeah. And I felt dumb. So I was kind of like just trying to like lock in as much as possible to catch what I can and respond without sounding like an idiot. But I'm so much more functional than I used to be, which is good. But like I said, I would like to do Spanish next. So if anyone has any tips, don't be afraid to share them.
I speak a little Spanish with you de Castillo, la conquistadora.
Yeah.
No,
how much Spanish do you know?
Very minimal. I have a good accent, but I can just I can say a few things here. Like if someone tells me something to say, I can say it and they're like, "Dang, you sound like a real cabron." But in terms of actually knowing, that's kind of how I was in German too. Like I had like a 2-minute spiel that I could say about like what I was doing here and why I was here, and like because I'm good with that. Like I've always been good at like imitations and things like that. Like they'd be like, "Dang, like you sound like a German," and then they'd ask me another question and be like, don't know anything.
No comprendo.
Literally, they're like, "Oh, okay, I got it." But anyway, all right, Kevin. I was gonna ask if you had World Cup fever, but I feel like we should probably talk about your injury.
Yeah, we'll go World Cup next time.
The World Cup?
A little bit, yeah. Definitely like more on the weekends and stuff.
See,
But
like
yeah.
you have a job. That's the thing. I don't really. So like I just freaking have soccer on all day, and I freaking love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm so ready. I bought a $15 like Freebird red, white, and blue shirt off Amazon, like a bald eagle coming out of my neck. I'm fired up. Next Wednesday, Bosnia. Anyway, all right, moving on. Kevin.
All right, we're going to the injury, but before we get to the injury, we're gonna do a little lesson. You know, kind of drill of the week, but more just like giving little like quick hit tips.
Okay.
The reason being is during the way I injured my ankle was while playing with my father-in-law and his buddies. You know, these guys are a little under 4.0, so they're probably around 3.5 or so, which is why it's a little crazy that I sprained my ankle this way. But the first thing I did was like, okay, look, I'm coming to visit you for Father's Day. Like, I don't want to just like, I don't want to just like, you know, play some rec games against 3.5s. Like, I kind of want to like give him a lesson and like get him ready. So like for the first like 30 to 45 minutes, we were just straight up drilling. And here's like the cliff notes. Like when we were doing counters, I was just trying to do cooperative volleys, right? We're just hands, volley, everything out of the air, trying to hit everything in his hit box, like within his shoulders to his hips, so we could be cooperative back and forth. And the biggest thing that I noticed is that he was getting scared of the ball. He was starting to back up.
Sounds like me.
Well, what happens when you back up? This is what I was trying to explain to him. When you lean forward, your paddle face is also facing forward or maybe even down, right? But when you lean back, your paddle also starts to tilt up. So where does your ball go? It goes up, right? So like the more scared he got, the more the paddle would open up to the sky and the ball would go up and it would leave my hitbox and it would become somewhere where I would normally smash it in a game. So like my biggest thing for him was like nose over toes. So we kept doing cooperative counters or you know volleys until he was like holding his position in the line and just getting his nose over toes and just being able to hit down on the ball or down or through on the ball. And I just feel like that's something that I've noticed is like, yeah, if you're scared of the ball, you're not going to hit a good counter. Like, and this is something I've noticed too. Like, don't get me wrong. I do it too. Like every now and then I'll like turn or lean back or whatever. And it's like, nope, that's too much respect for the opponent. Unless they have a sitter and they're about to slam that thing, I cannot be turning my body or moving away. And it's the same thing for you know, more casual players as well. So that was a big lesson there.
I like that. I do that. I'm so bad about it. It's like the first time I hit a counter, I start moving backwards. Just
you know who the king of keeping their nose over toes is? I'll give you a hint. He is not signed by the PPA. So think lefty.
Jack Monroe.
And he's probably really good.
Slutsky?
Slutsky. Dude, that man is never afraid. Literally never afraid of a counter. And he, like, you could be hitting over it at him, and he's literally just like, I don't care. I'm going to flex this off. Like,
yeah.
It's nuts. So anyway, even in the Philippines, actually, I have a friend in the Philippines that I met over there, part of the Gentle Pickle team. You know, your Gentle Pickle fam.
Gentle Pickle. Dude.
And
those are my guys.
Her name is Maui, and her hands were so her raw reaction time was fast enough, but it was like her fear of the ball canceled out her reaction. So it was like if I hit a ball, like a counter, she would react, put her paddle in front of the ball, and then her fear would get the paddle away from it. So it was like, you were in the right place, and then you got scared. So it's like sometimes you just gotta trust your reactions, trust your hands, and just lean forward.
Amen.
Okay. And then the other thing we worked on was just his serve, because you know a lot of more casual pickleball players, or honestly even like Connor Garnett had like a serious case of the yips at one point, right, on the serve. Like
correct.
It's just a thing. Like sometimes
I've had it, kind of.
Yeah, like sometimes the serve gets so mental, right? So we were trying to undo this whole like the serve yips damage that has happened with his serve, and I got my father-in-law to like stop hitting the ball out of his hand. I think there's a misconception that like, okay, you can't toss the ball up, right? Okay, well you can still like drop it and let it drop from a, like, you don't have to like hit it completely out of your hand.
No.
Like he was almost hitting his hand. And it was like, it's so
Yeah,
hard to control that.
I've seen a lot of people do that.
It's so hard to control that. It's so hard to time it. It's so hard to hit that hard. So I was getting him to give himself space. So instead of holding the ball towards the court, I was like, just turn to your side so that it's like away from your body. And once he had that space, he was able to actually like rotate into the ball, and it was so much cleaner and so much more consistent rather than like having it in front of him and like hitting it straight out of his hand. It was like get the space to the side, drop it, and let it drop a little bit, and then go and rotate. So
takes a little bit for people that hit it out of their hand. It takes them a little bit to like get the timing of it, because I've had a lot, like when I did some camps and stuff, same thing where I'm like, you have to allow the ball to like drop so you can actually like load up all that stuff. And sometimes like they get it immediately, and then sometimes they're like hitting the ball in the frame or like it's bouncing or whatever else. But
yeah. And then one more
drop the ball,
tidbit.
people.
Yeah, drop the ball and give yourself space. And then one extra bonus one is transfer your weight from your back foot to your front foot. Like I think he was kind of loading up on his front foot, and I was like, there's nowhere for your weight to go. Like you can't get any power if your weight is already on your front foot.
Right.
So like load it on your back foot, and then as you're rotating through and hitting, your momentum's going to bring your weight forward. So that's the other thing. All right. Lesson over? We good on the lesson?
Good, Kevin. I like it.
Okay. Then I was like, look, I just want to keep this even. My knee is still bothering me. Like I've been doing rehab, but I haven't been resting it as much as I should. I'm still like loading up with tolerance as I do training. So I was like, look, I'm going to play left-handed. I'm going to take it easy. Let's play some games. Play like hour and a half of games. Then these buddies are like, hey, Kevin, we really want to see you play right-handed. Like we want to see what it's like. I was like, okay, if that's the case, like I'll play 1v2 like full court. So, I'm playing right-handed, and like I'm playing the whole court. So I'm like, all right, like I got to cover the whole thing, and like, I was like, whatever. Yeah, this is probably my ego, but I was like, I'm gonna actually like, they want to see they were like, please go all out. I was like, okay, fine. I'm up 10-0, and I want to complete the pickle. And I get up to the net, there's a net cord, and then I drop shot it off of the net cord, and then sure enough, this guy like hits the wildest shot that made no sense. Like he hit the ball from the net into the net super hard, and it was like
how close was he to the line?
To the net or to the line?
Yeah, to the net. Is he in the kitchen?
Yeah, for sure he's in the kitchen. Like he's like I got a net cord, and then I hit like a short ball as close to the net as possible, right? So it's like you have to hit up.
Yeah.
But instead of like tapping it up and over the net, he's like full swinging it up into the net, and like he didn't even hit the net cord. Like he hit like the actual net part, but he hit it so hard that it just traveled like all the way up. And I was like, okay, I've literally never seen that go over. So I had the initial jerk reaction of like, oh, I need to go. And then I realized what he did, and I was like, oh, there's no way. And then I had a second jerk reaction when I realized it was coming over. And that second jerk reaction, I don't know how it happened. Like I don't, like, all I know is that when I pushed off, I felt a huge pop in my right ankle, and it was kind of like on both sides of the ankle. Like it was like where the ankle is, and then also like where like the Achilles is. So I was like, oh my god, like a double.
You better hope it's not Achilles.
Yeah, double pop. I was like, this is like, yeah. I literally was like, did I just like, am I gonna look down and see like bone down there? Like what just happened? Yeah. I don't even know if I took a step. Like no idea. Like I didn't feel like a wobble. All I felt was the pop. So I don't know if I like tried to move, but my foot didn't move, and that's what caused it, or if I did take a step, but I didn't feel a step. I only felt the pop. I don't know, but fortunately, it didn't swell like crazy. So I was like, okay, like it's probably not crazy severe. Like we're probably not talking months. We're hopefully talking weeks. But it did end up being a sprain, and the doctor said it's probably about 3 to 6 weeks until full recovery. Like in 2 to 3 weeks, I can probably be on a pickleball court again, but it's definitely not going to be like full speed until towards the end of that time frame. So I got PT scheduled tomorrow, and we're gonna start the journey back to a healthy ankle, and then I'm gonna tell them, hey, like I need stuff for my knee as well, because I had patellar tendonitis in both knees. Pickleball is very tough on the knees, just starting and stopping. A lot of the decelerating does a lot of tear on your patellar tendons. So I had that in both knees. I was able to rehab it all out of my right knee, and it's basically just been my left knee the last few months. And hopefully this time off will give me time to fix my ankles and my knees. So that's the plan.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it stinks. Feels like, you have had a bad string of luck, as have I, with all that stuff. But by the same token, like, I think it's good for you to probably take a few weeks, like, get into do PT and just kind of totally reset a little bit, give your body that extra time.
Yeah.
Not
I'm sure.
not to mention the dehydration thing. That's neither here nor there, but just another cog in the wheel. So it definitely probably unfortunate, but maybe good for you to step back and get
Yeah.
stronger again.
I'm sure that the full body cramp did not prime my muscles to be prepared for this sprain. So like probably between that and the knee tweak and the tendonitis, like it probably all contributed to me compensating with my right ankle to some extent. But like you said, it's just gonna be nice to be able to hit reset. And
Godspeed, brother.
last little section, what's coming up next? I'll go first because it's kind of like I have all this extra free time. Obviously, I'm going to be doing PT, probably hitting the gym a little bit more often. Really strengthen up whatever I can, and then I'm going to be creating more content. I'm going to start a newsletter soon. Got a website about to be
I like
published,
that.
and I'm finally working with my Filipino friend now, who's my editor. So we got some long form content being published in the next week, some match commentaries, lots to learn, AC.
Let's go. I love that. You tell your editor if she gives me a good rate, I'll pay her to do some funny clips.
Okay.
For Uncle AC.
So
Oh, it's a he.
AJ for the editor, Trisha, who's a woman for the assistant. So AJ said his, I hope he doesn't mind me sharing, but his rate for a short form video is like $100. So I don't know if you can try and negotiate him down.
A clip. I've also heard that there's new like AI generated there's AIs that will go in and you give them like whatever an hour of audio and they'll give you 3 to 4 clips. I'm just curious. I want to try it out and see if it's any good first. If not, I might be hitting your boy up, AJ.
Okay,
see if I can work something out.
Yeah.
Well, you guys heard the man. Katie's always in the lab cooking, so we make sure to check out all that stuff he's going to be cooking out. I'm going to be reading the newsletter. I'll tell you that.
I was going to say, subscribe to the newsletter. We'll put it in the comments or something, or it's going to be. Hopefully, you can find it through my profile, Instagram or TikTok or wherever if you want. There'll probably be a link there. But what do you have next? You have your Boston.
I have a flight in about 10 hours. I got to get up. It's 9:30. I got to get up at basically 4 a.m., drive an hour and a half to Fort Lauderdale, fly a couple hours to New York City, fly from New York City to Boston. I'm doing a pickleball singles exhibition at Pickle Boss in South Boston against Matt Finnerty, who is the number 1 ranked British singles player in the world. I think he's ranked like 27th now in PPA, despite not being signed. But there's no chance that I'm going to lose to an Englishman during the World Cup and also in Boston, this close to the 4th of July. No shot. He's also in the tournament. So anyway, I'm doing this exhibition. I thought it was 6 to 8. Turns out it's 6 to 9. Then I have to drive from Boston to Maine. Probably have to wake up at like 5:30 Friday because I'm playing singles in the Challenger at 8 a.m. in Portland, Maine. Anyway, I got a lot going on, Kevin.
All that, and you're still podcasting right now. We gotta get this man to
baby.
bed.
Yeah, you gotta get him to bed, but it's okay. I'll sleep on the plane. Singles playing men's doubles with little Zach Gonering. Good right side player since Kevin bailed on me.
It worked out because I
Actually,
had to bail on.
That's a good point.
I had to bail on Kelsey and my men's.
That's a good point.
partner
That's a good point. All right, you're right on that one. Yeah, I'll make sure Zach. No, Zach's a good kid. He unfortunately went viral recently for a very, very bad hook with Johnny Goldberg. But hey, listen, I'll make sure that doesn't happen this weekend. Okay, Zach's a good kid. I'm excited to play with him. Playing mixed with Brooke Caruso, little lefty, nice girl. She's a good player, so should be fun. And then I have like 8 days in South Florida to chill and do whatever.
Do
practice,
some PT.
do some PT.
Yeah.
Go to the bed bug exterminator and figure out my life before we go to Grand Rapids for the midseason tournament. So lots of moving parts. Get well soon, Kevin. But I think this will probably ultimately be a good thing for you guys, or a good thing for you.
And for Maggie, because I get to spend more time with her, you know.
Well, yeah, babe, yeah, exactly. She's gonna say, be careful what I wish for.
Yeah, she's like, you should just be injured all the time. Like,
yeah, exactly. Or she'll say, Kevin, you get back out on that court. I'm sick of having you around.
right, that too. That could be the option.
That's the flip side. But anyway, we appreciate you guys, as always, for listening. And we will check in with you soon next week.
Sounds good. Good luck in Boston and Portland.
Go USA. If you're not following the USA in the World Cup, what are you doing? Let's go. We're winning it all, baby. We're winning it all.
All right. See you next time.
That sucks. Life's tough. Last thing I need is more stuff. It's true. I need a little more time with you and more rosé with my lunch. One piece of mind. Sometimes you gotta look deep inside.